Oh, yo, we out here. We live. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a minute. I'm trying to stream on multiple platforms here. So, as Joe Venetu in the YouTube chat says, giddy up. Let's get this. Here, I immediately have to ban someone. That's beautiful. So, yeah, we're streaming on YouTube, streaming on Twitch, and we're streaming on X. So, let me, figure out how to use this whole Twitch scenario. How do you ban people in this chat? We need a Twitch mod. We got a bot, guys. Immediately, we made it. Yeah, we'll figure out later. It's not like there's many people here in the Twitch chat, but yeah, we're gonna talk about a little bit of everything. It's been a minute. The last stream we did, we covered Pulsechain. Well, to be real, we started with Bitcoin, went to Ethereum, covered some Hex, Pulsex, and some Mintra. And the reality is, guys, like, I hate to say it, but well, I kind of like to say it. I told you so. We were streaming about Bitcoin, saying, you know what, this could be a bull trap. The title was bull trap or bull market, right? And so far, what it's looking like is either bull market or, if anything, a highly extended bull trap, right? We never really know which direction we could go, but the fact of the matter is, we were streaming the Pulsechain chart at 0.00006 and some change. And the TA there was saying, you know what, it looks good. My Pulsechain bags are packed, my Pulsex bags are packed, etc. And we are about 2x and some change above the price where we were streaming at. So, I mean, it's a tough industry, crypto. Things go up, things go down, everything's correlated. If you go deep enough to interest rates, to whatever the Federal Reserve fancies, to broader markets, higher liquidity markets in crypto like Bitcoin and Ethereum. And we saw last cycle, I should say, after Bitcoin topped, Hex was still at a penny. To be specific, Bitcoin topped around 65K and Hex was at a penny. Bitcoin dipped. It had you could call it its dead cat bounce or its secondary bounce or its double top, whatever you want to call it. But that second rally with lower highs in RSI, lower highs in literally every single metric other than price itself, right? Because we went 65K, dipped 69K. And it was during that rally from, the low 40s, high 30s up to 69K that we saw Hex go from a penny to 50 pennies. So do not be swayed by a volatile chart. Do not be swayed away from your bags. So let's use in the chat. Rich Wealth, what's up, bro? Black Label Expat, what's up? So yeah, guys, do we have people on Twitch? We don't, guys. You guys need to fix that. That link is in the description below. Go hit up the Twitch. We're trying to do the OG Hexo vibes, right? Where he was streaming on Twitch and rating people and all that fun stuff. But yeah, no, Twitch is a good platform. I think really any platform is good, right? As long as you're not being censored, as long as you're getting your reach, you're not being blacklisted or what's the word people use when their reach is being suppressed. Yeah, I don't really like to make excuses, so I don't even remember what that word is. It's not blacklisted. It's not. Man, if you guys know what that is, please drop it in the chat. But yeah, no, I think any platform is good, better reach. Why not? So we're out here on YouTube, we're out here on X, we're out here on Twitch. But yeah, we can look at some charts. We can just hang out. I want to make this a more casual, more frequent thing. Let me know what the shadow ban. Thank you. Yes, thank you, shadow ban. See, like, I swear, it's like a lot of people say, I'm shadow banned, but it's like, bro, just drop more bangers. Trust me. Like, it's just your content is mid. Your content isn't that good. And I see a lot of people use that excuse. They're shadow banned, but in reality, they just need to produce better content. Anyways, thank you guys, Black Label Expat and Joe Venuto, for that the clarification on that word I was missing in my brain. Doberman asks, what does AI stand for at the end of the Mintra URL? So yeah, guys, if you're not aware, Mintra.io kind of became Mintra.ai. Now, there are a few reasons for that, but the main reason is really the fact that we are introducing AI more and more into the platform. and you can see it permeate everyday life. But the reality is we have a rough first draft version in our dev systems where you can generate your NFT content, your NFT images with AI, right? And to be real, it's just a simple OpenAI API, right? Like Dolly. You can just get the Dolly API, plug it into whatever app you're using. As long as you're following the terms and conditions as a company, as a business, as an app or whatever, you can use that API, and it's a beautiful thing where you want to be able to onboard people with just a few clicks, right? It's that whole idea of the less friction you have between the funnel and the end sale, the better for your conversion rate. Meaning, for those of you who don't really know sales terms, conversion rate just means how many people can you get to look at something, and then how many people can you get to click on that thing, to look at the thing you're selling, and then to eventually buy it. So that whole funnel process from the person who's looking at the thing to the person who's buying the thing or being onboarded, or whatever you want to define your conversion rate as, right? In crypto, it could be just getting someone onboarded onto crypto or onto your project. That the ideal scenario is low friction. And so low friction means less clicks. And I know we could get into the whole like, oh, the decentralized front end of Hex and Pulsechain and PulseX. Now we have 2 clicks and not 1. So from a sales perspective, you could argue that was not the move. But from a legal perspective, RH protecting himself, that was probably the best move for him, covering his own ass. But yeah, I don't want to bore you guys who don't know what I'm talking about regarding that. But the idea is, going back to the AI thing with Mintra, it's you want to onboard people with as least the least amount of clicks as possible. And so if you can have someone come to your app, generate their NFTs there on the app itself, mint or launch their drop right there, mint their NFTs, sell them all in one place, it's kind of a beautiful thing because you can get lost in the app. So if you guys have ever been lost in an app or a game or whatever, you can definitely relate. I know I can relate for sure. But yeah, no, that's the idea. We have a version of that we haven't really dropped, but that could be a future update on Mintra. Speaking of which, we just launched back in October, and there's been a lot of feedback. There's been a few updates from now until then. I've kind of been fried since the launch in October because I was working like a dog all of 2023, but hey, that's no excuse. We're here now, we're hanging out. And yeah, future updates to come, like lots of future updates, man. The next one, I mean, there was an update that just dropped the other day. I didn't feel like it was a huge enough, big enough update to tweet about. In retrospect, maybe I will, maybe I should. But it was a few things, like we added mint events on the carousel. We added, what else did we add? Some external volume for the pulse punks. Oh, you're seeing the flickering. Yeah. Darn, I wonder what that's what's happening there. But yeah, we added the Pulse Punks external volume on the View Collection page. So if you go to Pulse Punks, for example, you can see that they've done 6 billion pulse in volume on their own app. You can see that they've done like 200 million last I checked, I think, on Mintra. And we're going to be doing that for more projects like the Pulse Funks. So the Pulse Punks and the Pulse Funks, just enunciating so you guys can hear if I'm talking a little too fast. But yeah, we want to add external volume to all of these collections that do big external volume, right? Because there's volume done on their own individual marketplaces. The idea is something OpenSea does with CryptoPunks. The majority of the CryptoPunks volume is on the CryptoPunks app, not on OpenSea, but OpenSea reflects it nonetheless to show, look, this collection is doing good volume on their own, and we're just reflecting that they're a very successful high volume collection. Yeah, I can see the flickering too. Maybe that's an FPS thing. Maybe it's low lighting. That is kind of awkward, not gonna lie. I can still see it even when I adjust that. Yeah, that is not fun to look at, you guys. I apologize for that. I will fix that up hopefully by the next stream. But yeah, what's going on, everyone? Do you want to look at some charts? Do you want to hang out? I want to just scroll Twitter with you guys. Either way is chill. How many people do we have on Twitch, man? Twitch is gonna be rough. It's gonna be a long ride, I imagine. We have one person on Twitch, and that's probably a bot, but all good. Let me pull up some charts. Why not? So I've been looking at the PLS chart, and we're already 10 minutes into my freaking rant / intro. So let me present. Swear I noob out every single time we do this. Every single time. PLS, baby. Okay. So let's look at this, will we? So again, last time I streamed this, we were hanging out around the, I think it was like the 4 zeros and a 6 level around here. And I was saying, look, guys, we're coming back down to our 20, was it our 20-week moving average? Yeah, it was around here. It was around November. We were about here. Yes, I remember now. We were around the 4 zeros and a 6. We were coming back down to our 20-week moving average. And I was saying, look, a few things can happen. We could come back down, or we could just launch from here. But in reality, we did go back down, but this was a prime buying opportunity. Again, it's the idea of DCAing in, because you're never going to actually time the bottom unless you do. Then you're a freaking Chad. But it's about DCAing in, right? That's why I like channels like Dollar Cost Crypto and everyone who say like, look, guys, let's DCA into the charts. You're not going to buy the bottom, so you might as well slowly nibble away at the highest performing asset class of all time, especially when RSI is low, especially when FUD is at the highest, especially when we're at or near the lows after the biggest FUD we've ever seen in an RH project, being the whole SEC dip. Right here, we found our wick. Wicks like to be filled, and sure enough, it filled at around the 4 zeros and the 3 to 4 was pretty much your low, barely at a loss from the best sack rate that whales would have had, around the 0.004 level. That again with a 2.5x bonus multiplier from way back, like 3 years ago, during the Pulsechain sacrifice phase, when people got in for the first time and had to wait 2 years for their coins. This was the best rate they would have gotten, and sure enough, it was defended. We might have washed a few whales out here at these wicks and these few like 3 weeks of candles, but at the end of the day, I streamed around here last in November, and we did test these lows again. Look at that. We tested these highs here with some wicks. And again, we rode this 20-week moving average. It's such an important moving average to look at. If you had just bought at this moving average, for example, for a few weeks, DCA'd in, you would have pretty much captured roughly the lows. Again, you're never going to time the bottom perfectly unless you do. And then sure enough, we saw a prominent wallet step in, and she's history from there. We doubled in price, and we pretty much, other than this wick here on this week, haven't really come back since. So we rallied, we formed this bullish pennant. We've been forming higher lows, which is super nice to see. And what are we doing now? We're back testing this previous resistance of the second high of this pennant, this lower high. That's really, really nice to see, right? Could it be due to shutter speed? Yeah, you know what? That could be it. If you guys don't mind, I could actually try to fix that right now, but then I don't want to screw it up. Looking to Pulse, thing. Sub G-Dog, he's back. I've always been here, guys. Is a staking yield proportional to activity? As more people use Mint or higher yields? I will answer that. Few questions, for sure. Okay. So let me answer the first thing. Looking to Pulse.com, is that going to be a thing? Well, it's going to be looking to Hex.com. That's the site. And, even if we add charts like Pulsechain, PulseX, Mint, whatever, right? Whatever charts we do end up adding, looking to Hex.com. That's going to be the domain, if you will. That's going to be the brand. That doesn't mean we can't add charts of other things. That's just what people know it as. And I feel like there's a huge switching cost going into these like other domains, other branding. Not trying to rebrand, to be honest. Yo, what's up, D Bunny with a heart? Hey, that's so sweet. Thank you for being here. Yeah, looking to Pulse.com. Man, I should have probably snagged that domain, unless you guys are going to snipe it during the stream. I shouldn't have said anything about that. But yeah, trust me, all of our talent right now, truly, from our dev team is working on Mintra. We're focusing on getting the new contract out ASAP. It's really going to be about a week or two, and then we're out. The contract is done. It's audited. Trust me, I have a point. I'm not just rambling here. It's done. It's audited. It's integrated at this point into our app, massaged in. Now it's being tested. So that's pretty much it. Now we just got around to that literally today. We're testing it a bit. Early next week, we'll have a better idea of whether there are front end, back end bugs we should fix up before launching it to production, out to the public. But I hate to give that answer, but 2 weeks, right? Maybe at the end of this month or early next month, it'll be out and live. And that will address a ton of issues, like the fact that if you lock up an NFT, if you list an NFT on Mintra, it will no longer be actually locked. It'll just be still in the owner's wallet instead of being in the contract as like an escrow type situation, waiting for someone to buy it until the user unlists it. And the whole idea of that is like, well, look, now if you list an NFT on Mintra, the user still holds it and it's just an approval-based sale. Therefore, if any person wants to airdrop other NFTs or any other goodies to the person holding the NFT, they're still the holder and not the marketplace contract. So those things are being addressed. It should be live in the next week or two. I'll make a whole stream and post about it. I'll be loud about it. Don't worry. Yeah, so all the talent that we have now is currently doing that. Therefore, looking to Hex has kind of taken a back seat for a bit. But trust me, that was my original love. And it's still a passion of mine to make all those charts. But in the meantime, there are really other cool sites making cool charts. Not to say Looking to Hex will make a comeback, but in the meantime, go check out hexscout.com. They've been killing it, making a really cool, like, all-in-one stop for Hex, like portfolio viewing, for ROI from all-time low statistics, just a bunch of cool stuff. So go check that out, hexscout.com. Let me answer the next question. Hey, G, what do you think about the ERC 404 mania? Hey, I mean, I think your question has the answer built in there. I do think it was a bit of a mania. I do think a lot of times there are new ERCs or EIPs that have huge hype for like a week or two and then people forget about them. I can't necessarily tell you whether 404s will be a thing or not. I think it's a cool step in a certain direction, because even a few months ago to a year ago, I had this idea of like, look, what if you had liquidity pools that allowed you to have a more liquid market for NFTs? Because right now you have to really list an NFT for sale at a certain price, and you either have a buyer or you don't. And you just kind of have to wait on these marketplaces, versus on something like Uniswap, right? V2, V3, etc. Excuse me. You have these pools of coin versus coin, right? Coin A versus coin B, or any person who wants to trade between the two always has that pool to interact with. They don't need to find a buyer/seller. They don't. They just need to tap into the pool if it exists and execute their swap, execute their trade. So having something like that for NFTs, I think would be really cool. From what I've seen about ERC 404, it's a step in that direction. I don't know if it's end game for that idea, instant liquidity for NFTs, but it could be, right? Definitely have to see it play out a little longer. Let me answer the next question. Why is Mint the only ranked Pulsechain project on CoinGecko? Well, because someone might have gone in to CoinGecko and, filled out that little form, emailed back and forth a little bit, and boom, there it is, done. Verified contract address, supply, distribution, etc. So there it is. And again, D-Bunny, what's up? D-Bunny is oftentimes in the NFT spaces on X, which is super cool. In there with a Tang Gang, with Orange Gooey, Staker Class, Hex Funks, Bullish 0x, all those NFT connoisseurs on Pulsechain. So what's up? What's up, RH Max? My G-RAR A dog. Appreciate you, man. Funny response to the tweet earlier today, too. So thanks for being here. Some NFT stuff is cool, but I expect more stuff. Like, next up is ERC Pepe. Will be fractional frogs with deep liquidity. Yeah, man. Like, so many ideas. The idea is you implement these ideas in a really cool way that makes sense for people, and that actually has some level of attractiveness or utility in the space beyond what already exists. And then, we love to see it. I'm going to love watching it fly through the ranks, says Hex Mining Hodler. Yeah, I'm going to love that too. Sweet deal. I think I got through the majority of the comments, questions there. But yeah, guys, let's see. Let's go back to the chart for a bit. So yeah, we're forming higher lows on Pulsechain. I love to see it. We love to see it because it's just good. It's just good for anyone who owns Pulsechain, for any PRC20 that you're a fan of, that you're a stan of on Pulsechain. Well, the likelihood is it's tied to PLS and liquidity, Maybe it's not. Maybe there's the oddball out there, but it's the same as on Ethereum, right? You see Ethereum run, and usually altcoins run after that. Or if there's a ton of, sell pressure on the altcoin, then maybe you don't see it run, but the sell pressure is arguably absorbed by that liquidity bond of the higher price. So it's a good thing to see. It's a good thing to see Pulsechain running, being above sack rate. Can we just give a pause and appreciate that for a bit? We're above sack rate. We've been comfortably above the worst sack rate, mind you, because a lot of people don't realize what I said earlier, that the 3 zeros and the 4 was the best sack rate, right? Around here, around there, this white line, right? That was the best sack rate. And again, we saw a few people get washed out beneath that, but that's okay. We found it at support, and we've been pretty much running ever since. And so the second I did that, you saw my blue rectangle pop up here. And what is this blue rectangle? Why do I have it drawn on my screen? It's meaningless, truly. So don't take it seriously. Take it with a grain of salt. But it's this level, right, where we saw this previous high happen back in July of 2023. It's been a minute. And it was that high. What else did we see? We saw it be a high here in January, a few candles above it, but for the most part, it was our high there. It was our high here at the end of January, early February, encapsulated a few candles here, right? And what I would love to see is holding it as support, or if we don't hold this as support, holding this simple trend line of these wicks as support. Right now, the trend line is at about 1189. By the end of the month, early next month, it should be around the 125 to 13 level. So that's what I personally would like to see. But again, it might be another situation like what we saw back in late 2023, where we're like, okay, I'd love to see that. And then we think we're going to break out. We're forming higher highs. And then what do? We break lower. We have lower highs and lower lows locally speaking, right? Like this October 30 low of 5118, it got taken out. But when it got taken out, again, it was just a brief takeout to the mid 4s, and then pumped up again, had a nice tight bottom here at 4 zeros and a 5. And then once again, that was all she wrote before some prominent wallets stepped in to set that floor. And again, trend lines, they're just lines on a screen. But at the end of the day, if you look at what happened during this period of time and connect these, this was a pretty significant trend line to follow, right? Like if you had just bought, even when just you had these two forming, right? These two lows forming, and then you saw this form, maybe you missed out on that. You're like, oh shoot, you form your new trend line. You realize this connects these. And then, after mid-October, you could have realized like these were great buying opportunities in December, near sack rate at the trend line. Like you want to see these convergence of indicators, right? So I think that was a really good spot to step in the way those wallets did. And then once again, I think we're at a really good spot. We could look at Pulsex, right? And again, this is Pulsex versus USD. My chart's a little messy here, so I'm just gonna delete some things, honestly. So the trend line that we saw on Pulse technically broke on Pulsex, but what I will say is it's because we saw a lot of not a lot of, but we saw one wallet, I believe, one prominent wallet who held a lot of Pulsex dump it for PLS, altering that ratio to the downside by about 10 or 20%. It did come down to the 50-day moving average, and now it's kind of testing the 20 and 21-day moving average as resistance. Hopefully, we either break it or kind of consolidate between these moving averages, right? But again, these are all just lines. So take them all with a grain of salt. I think PLS is the most important one to look at, to be honest, because it dictates most things in the Pulsechain ecosystem, to be fair. And you have ink, bro. You have incentive token. So I have a few things drawn here, just significant levels, right? Like the top of this candle body here, down to the top of this candle body here. Same deal over here, bottom of this candle body, top of that candle body, just to draw some regions. Ink got extremely oversold. And I'm talking this bled versus PLS for like, I mean, just look at that bloodbath from May 2022. Each ink was valued at 300,000 PLS per incentive token. We saw it go all the way down to 8,000 PLS per incentive token. It was just bleeding versus PLS for over half a year, guys. So I think this run took a lot of people by surprise. It's good to see it holding above the 20-day. I mean, that's pretty bullish to me. The fact that it's been holding the 20-day and 21-day moving averages, because like holding the bull market support band, aka your 20-week moving average, is also super bullish. But on a shorter term, if you're bullish as well, I mean, I love to see it. I would love to see Ink make its revenge comeback. And again, right now it's sitting at around 23,000 PLS, so roughly a 3x from the bottom. But again, even if it could just come up to certain levels that we saw before, like these wicks here at the bottom, or this little rally here, you know, that's still like a 3x from here. I love my incentive token. I love my PLS. I love my PLSX. I love my mint token. I love my hex. Those are my infinity stones, if you will. And once again, I can't really do that much TA on mint, right? I think it's probably not the best idea, being the founder and all. But I mean, I can say what I see factually, what's happened in the past without guarantees of future performance. And what we did see is I remember one day on mint token, we saw $1 million of volume, and we saw someone 10x the price in one candle. It got sold down to about a 2 to 3x. You know, people sold their profit down, and then once again, some people stepped in, and it went up again 10x a few days. It's quite the volatile chart, right? This wick and this wick have already had their price action, relatively speaking, but it's a crazy chart to see. And if you see it in PLS terms as well, it's also a wild chart to see. It's sitting at its candle lows, historically speaking, and you can see that more clearly once you do a line chart. So it's good to look at your charts in PLS terms and also in so not only in USD terms, but also in PLS terms. So, and then you have your hex. Right, your hex kind of chilling, broke over this long downtrend linear resistance, which you love to see. Your E-hex, I'd argue it's better to look at it on full chart, like something like this, right? You can see it on TradingView, make it logarithmic. But yeah, all I have is some key resistance levels. I have this sort of ascending triangle that we've seen slowly trend up. We've tested this 1.1 cent level multiple times. So it's like an inverse head and shoulders / W bottom. So I think E-hex is looking super good. It's looking very similar to back here in March and February of 2021. So it's looking really similar to what it was doing 3 years ago when I started streaming in April of 2021. And helped a ton of people pretty much get in here at the 1 penny level before we ran up to 50 pennies. So, hey, history doesn't always repeat, but sometimes it likes to rhyme. Just gotta love it. You gotta love to see it. This ascending triangle / W bottom / inverse head and shoulders, all kind of converging with some support on the bull market support band, the 20-week moving average, 21-week moving averages. So you love to see it. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing had a technical run up of about 3 to 4x, putting us at around the 3 to 4 cent level. I would not be surprised at all, especially because even if we did that, you know, even if we're still in a downtrend, and again, that's a very bearish perspective, even if we're still in a macro downtrend, we could still form lower highs relative to this 13-cent level. So that still means many X's from here, possibly speaking. So even if we did that technical run up from this ascending triangle to like 3 to 4 cents, and you're still technically bearish, well, then go ahead and take some profits at 4 cents. If you don't believe it's going to go any higher, and if you do, well, you know what? You hold on tight, like many people have been holding on for multiple years. Very passionate, bullish community we are. So yeah, man, the charts look insane. I'm happy. My bags are packed. Cheers, everyone. And yeah, so oh shoot, I've been Dang it, I didn't share the tab. Man, I was trying to share trading view. Here, present, stop screen, present, share screen, open, upper tab, hex USD. Boom. That's what I was trying to show you guys. My bad. Here you go. This is what I was trying to show. I was saying, like, look, even if we have, man, I really talked for like 2 minutes without showing the chart. So even if we have lower highs relative to this 13-cent level, even if we're in a macro downtrend, what I was saying was we could still see a breakout out of this formation right here. And it's a little messy. So let me get rid of all these horizontal lines. Right? Man, I mean, can't you just see the chart tightening up? This high, this high, this high. You connect them all. Sure, we broke out of it here, but now we found resistance on it here. But the reality is, what I think is more important is this uptrend right here, this sort of ascending triangle. And sure, you could draw it like this, right? Do something like that or whatever. You know, it could take longer than expected, but what I was saying was the reality is we're above our bull market support band, above our 20-week moving average, 21-week moving average. The last time we held it as support, bounced, came back, held it as support again, it's sheesh. Like, let me get a sheesh, guys. That was a while ago. That was literally right here. Bounced off of it in February, came up a little bit, held it as support again in March, and then we ran up from under a penny to roughly a penny all the way to 50 cents. And again, this was late February, early March of 2021, 3 years ago, when we had bullish formations. We had horizontal support, right, at the 4 zeros and a 6 level. 4 zeros, I meant 2 zeros, my bad. The 2 zeros and a 6 level right here held horizontal support. We had bull market support band support. If you look at the early Uniswap charts, we had trendline support. Everything was converging beautifully, and Bitcoin was in the process of rallying, right, to new all-time highs. And again, it was late February, early March of 2021 when I started streaming. It was around April, and said we looked primed for a pump. And again, we went to 50 cents. So what I'm saying now is we have this nice formation, this inverse head and shoulders, which is bullish. We've tested our neckline multiple times, which is 1.1 cents, once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. The more times a level is tested, the more likely it is to break, according to traditional TA, right? It's not perfect, but we're talking about the balance of probabilities here. We've seen bullish divergence. We're trending up on the RSI, uptrend, RSI on price. We're tightening up. We're above key levels. What I'm saying is the technical target would be something around the 3 to 4 cent level, right? And even if you're bearish on a macro trend, right, you still have multiple X's to go, right? And if you're bullish, well, then it's moon math pretty much from there, right? It's hopefully holding that trend line as support before you run up. And that's anyone's guess, right? But overall, the charts look really freaking good. So yeah, guys, it's a good time to be alive. It's a good time to DCA into crypto, or to already have your bags packed, hopefully, especially if you've sniped the lows. And yeah, we could talk a little bit about Mintra, if you will. We have some cool updates coming up. 3.33 billion pulse in volume so far. At current prices, that's about $500,000. At real-time prices, which is what we base this sort of hover over, is about, closer to $300,000, because at the time people did certain volume on Mintra, the price of PLS was lower. And so that's why you see that $281,000 figure when you hover over this 3.33 billion pulse. We've slowly been pumping in all of the collections that exist on Pulsechain, whether they're forked over from Ethereum or currently being minted, right? It's a dynamic process of keeping up with what's already been done on Ethereum and forked over to Pulsechain, and what's being done real time on Pulsechain, historical plus real time. And so we've slowly been pumping in all of the collections that exist. We're closing in on 17 million NFTs. For 2.5 million pulse for incognito. I know who that is. That's Lo-Fi Dreams. Lo-Fi has been absolutely killing it. Incognito Dreams, look at that. That was his drop today. He's been minting out very, very quickly. Just minutes, right? As a lot of the Tangang guys have been minting out just super fast on their NFTs, which is fucking awesome to see, man. Created by, let's see if we can find Lo-Fi. Yep, this is Lo-Fi Dreams. He's been killing it with his really cool NFTs. Super cool. I've gotten a few of these during the mints. Sometimes I've missed out because he just mints out so quickly, and I've had to buy on secondary, like Mintra and Pulse Market and all the other guys who have their NFT marketplaces. But yeah, super cool to see, man. Oops, Mints collections. Super cool to see. Right? But yeah, guys, hit me with some questions or whatnot. This is a chill stream. I was planning on just looking at some charts, maybe scrolling Twitter for a bit with you guys. But it's gotten a bit quiet in chat. Chat disconnected. Did we disconnect? Oh no, we've been chilling. Thought I was talking to myself for a bit. That would have been sad. But yeah, guys, we looked at some charts, and that's super cool. I think things are looking good. Again, my bags had been packed. Anyways, I don't know if you guys caught that, but I was saying Dreams, Lo-Fi Dreams came over from Ethereum. I think it was in Solana for a bit, but pretty much he's just an artist, man. A lot of these artists don't really care about crypto. And I think that's a bridge we should probably make, right? Because we want to get these artists paid. We want them to realize how beautiful of a thing crypto is, how wonderful of a community Pulsechain is, how they can sell out multiple drops in a row, how people will appreciate their art, come over, hang out, mint their stuff, and just good vibes. And it's Pulsechain, man. It's NFTs. It's maddest of gains. So good stuff, man. Good stuff, Dreams. Well said. Compounding memes. Well said. Yo, rags to riches. Keep going, man. This is a long meme. Who's gonna read all this? Hold on. Yeah, good old Hex. Good old Moon King. Good old Orange Gooey. Is that Clouds from Final Fantasy? I think that's his sword. Yo, I'm not about to read all that. I'm sorry. People you should follow Gold Key. Yeah, Gold Key's awesome. New Sora, dude. OpenAI Sora is crazy. I cannot wait to get into this. These are AI generated videos. Labrador hacker. I cannot wait for this, man. Because the best one I've seen so far, and it's not even really that good, is Runway ML, Runway Machine Learning. It's doing text to video AI generation. It's doing like image to video and stuff like that, but it's just not that good. It's not that fluid. Versus Sora, OpenAI's thing, the guys who made ChatGPT and Dolly, like this is good. This is really good. Labrador hacker. I've seen this one, the ant POV. This is all AI generated, guys. Tower of Pizza. What? Low quality, visually disappointing Super Bowl commercial. Yo, I'm telling you, it's game over. It's over, guys. Like before you know it, future generations are going to be able to generate world-class movies with a few keystrokes. We're so early. Yeah, not gonna lie, that's absolutely crazy. Saw me, bro. Yo, Sami's been killing it on Twitter, man. 30,000 followers. Keep going, man. Yeah, let me check chat real quick. No, we're just hanging out. What's up, Pulsechain? Nice. Yo, what is this? This cannot be Fortnite. This looks different. The heck? Do Kwon to be extradited to the US. Oh lord. Yeah, never a boring day in crypto, man. Yeah, we're vibing. Thank you guys for pulling up to the hangout. We're out here. We're at 17,062. We've been churning around 17,000 followers for a minute. Appreciate all of you. Let's crack that shit though. Good stuff, guys. But yeah, I'm probably gonna hop off soon. What's up, Maddie C85? What's up, Pulse? Yeah, I do want to do longer streams. I'm just gonna slowly start leaning back into it and do like, what did we do today? An hour, maybe in a few days. Next week, like a couple hours, 3 hours, and then I don't know. I want to have some people on. Maybe hop on some spaces if they're live. Like right now, is anyone live on spaces? I'll hop in live. Nothing too crazy. 2-5. Nah, we're good. Who's here, man? Who's here? Can you see viewers on Twitter? You used to on mobile. That's funny. This is super meta right here. 4 viewers on Twitter. I think there's like 1 person on Twitch and like 40 here on YouTube. But yeah, no, we're chilling. It's a good night. It's good vibes. Thank you guys for being here. I'm probably tapping out soon. It's a little late for me. I already had dinner. I knew that would be an issue. Having dinner before a stream, then you get that kind of, what do you call it? The itis or whatever you call that, where you just get a little tired, you're kind of sleepy. But yeah, you guys, thanks for being here. Maddest of gains to all of you. Love to see the charts the way they are. We did some TA. Scroll back if you didn't check that out. Retweet this, share with your friends, hop on Twitch every now and then. Let's actually see Twitch, because if we have 2-3 people, we'll raid someone. I think I've ever done a raid. We have one person. Okay. How do I raid with one person? You guys know how to do that? Do you guys even have Twitch? 39 followers on Twitch. Nice. That's why. Do you guys even have Twitch, man? Or am I the only one who does Twitch? How the heck do you raid someone? Maybe not tonight. I don't even know if I can raid someone. Maybe I'm just too small of an account. Oh, I just see another question. What are your thoughts on Dub stream? Hey, appreciate your Crypto Chronic. Hey, dubs to you. WWW's in the chat. What are your thoughts on BankX, says Marco? Sheesh, that's one way to end the stream. BankX, I mean, they have a ton of hex. I saw them set a sell wall between 1 and 2 cents on Uniswap V3 on Ethereum. So I think that's like $6 million of economic energy required to bust through that wall. Then even then they have some coins. But I don't know. I think the person how do I say this? Look, Richard Hart's a smart dude. He raised a ton of Ethereum when he launched Hex. Last I checked on chain, a ton of that Ethereum is still untapped, sitting there. Last I checked. Do your own chain analysis. I could be wrong. Chain analysis is always, very questionable, because someone sending coin to their address doesn't always mean it's their address. They could be paying someone. You never know. It could be, a monk in, a Tibetan monk that they're paying for Tibetan monk services. But the way I saw those coins distributed, they were very methodically, very uniformly distributed to multiple addresses, all of which have had similar behavior, which, again, seems like typical OA daughter address behaviors. And so if you have some critical thinking, some basic logic, some simple chain analysis, you see a ton of Ethereum sitting in different wallets. That was Ethereum from the initial Hex AA lobby raise. So, hey man, what happened last cycle? You guys got me going again. What happened last cycle? Bitcoin topped out, dipped. Big G or H called the top. Ethereum had its run after. Again, 2 weeks after it had its top, then it had the dead cat bounce. We saw a ton of Ethereum being sold at the top and entering the Hex ecosystem at around the 1 penny level, sending that mofo up to 50 cents. Need I say more? Need I say more? Even if Ethereum just goes to 5K cycle, again, maybe it goes to 10K, 15, 20K, who knows? Could we see something similar play out? Bitcoin tops out. Then Ethereum tops out. Maybe Hex has been sitting pretty, relaxing for a minute, going sideways. And then we see her just X. Double after double after double after double after double. I mean, it worked the first time. And what better marketing than a chart that just goes up, or for you guys. Hold on. Up. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm just looking at what I saw last cycle and putting 2 and 2 together. Thanks for the stream, says Doberman. Hey, thank you for being here, man. You guys go follow on Twitter. It's twitter.com or x.com/GerardDog. Link in the description below. Go follow on Twitch. We're trying to take over different communities here. so you guys can, you know, maybe hop in the chat, teach me how to raid or something. But yeah, guys, I'll catch you in the next stream. I appreciate you all. And yeah, Madison Games. Peace, everyone.